Welcome to the next in-depth guide. Today we will be looking at Aqua Droids. Unit Card Overview. Aqua Droids have relatively few keywords on their unit card, however, don't let this fool you. There are a host of hidden benefits that come from being a ground vehicle. Let's look at the unit card keywords first. The best among these is Infiltrate, then Armor 2 followed by AI. Infiltrate is the best keyword in the game, the ability to deploy at range 1.5 when other units have to use actions to walk onto the board, gives any unit a huge advantage in static objective scenarios. More on this in the Tactics section. Armor 2. Ignore 2 hits every time you are shot, unless the attack pool has impact equal to the number of hits. This stacks with the high health pool the Aqua Droids have. AI, attack, or move is the best possible combination of AI you can have. AI rarely, if ever, comes into effect, and if it does, you have lost a key part to your army that was way more important than the Aqua Droids. Hidden benefits of being a ground vehicle. 1. Can take the standby action. 2. Allowed to overlap terrain up to a 45-degree angle. 3. Block line of sight up to your miniature height. 4. Provide mobile heavy cover. 5. You can be in melee range and not be classified as engaged, meaning you can shoot out of melee. 6. You get a free 90-degree pivot every time you take a move action. If you take into account these additional rules, Aqua Droids have a lot of depth and take the spot as the #1 most annoying unit in the game. See more on this in the Tactics section. How many Aqua Droids do you take? 2 normally, or 3 if a future battle force allows it. Aquas are cheap, hard to remove, and play an essential part in any separatist army. Sadly, this means you will almost never take the AAT or the snail tank. These 2 units, while powerful, are too expensive, meaning you have to sacrifice other important units in your army to take them. You should always take into account how cheap Aqua Droids are when list building. Hero Synergy. The best heroes to take with Aquas are any flavor of Super Tactical Droid, Darth Maul, and General Grievous. Let's look at the Super Tactical Droids first. The basic Super Tactical Droid and Kalani offer the same benefit from their respective unit cards, Strategize. While Kraken offers melee protection from his attack profile, however, most of the time your Aquas will be too far away to benefit from either of these. What you're really after are the 2 and 3 pip command cards. Do not underestimate Our Means is the best command card for Aqua Droids. You want to divulge this card and give the reinforcement keyword to the Aquas. This will allow you to do an end of turn, 1 speed, 1 move. While not much on paper, this ability alone can prevent any alpha strike next turn on your units, or move them to be another speed, 1 move away from contesting a midfield objective. It all comes down to your positioning. An experienced droid player will abuse this combination, and it is a major factor as to why Aquas are the most annoying unit in the game. Preservation Protocols is just for protecting your Aqua Droids. You should only play this card if you think an enemy force user or a unit with a lot of Pierce is going to target your droids. If you time this correctly, most force users will only remove 1 Aqua Droid if they are lucky, as the combination of the dodge token and armor 2 will get most force users' attack pools down to 2 hits. Darth Maul. Maul's only card that synergizes is the Phantom Menace. Divulging this card gives Maul Infiltrate. Obviously, this is amazing since you are already infiltrating your Aqua Droids. The neat part about this is you're not locked into playing this card turn 1, meaning you can very easily give both your Aqua Droids and Maul an order to go last turn 1. A quick note, if you take Burst of Speed with Maul, you can effectively get Maul anywhere on the table safely without him having to go first, turn 2. To do this, you simply go with an Aqua Droid activation, second last turn 1 and double move them. Then go with Maul last and hide behind them. Please keep in mind to always hide behind the unit leader, as it is removed last. Saber Throw is also worth a mention, as you can move over the Aquas. Throw your saber, then move back behind them. However, this will require Maul to have a wound to activate his third action, with Juyo Mastery. General Grievous. General Grievous doesn't directly synergize with the Aqua Droids, however he makes other core unit choices absolutely broken with them. It all comes down to the keyword Ruthless, allowing an extra action at the cost of a wound. Being able to effectively give any core the steady keyword is one of the strongest army synergies in the game, and now you have portable line of sight blocking terrain in the form of Aquas. You can take this to an insane degree by using it with Geonosian warriors, allowing you 4 actions, one of which has to be a jump action in line with their unit card. This can allow you to bunny hop between line of sight blocking terrain using the Aqua Droids to fill any gaps. Alternatively, you could do this turn 1, then use the infiltrating Aquas to block off any retaliation. Recommended loadout. Standard loadout for Aquas will be to take the Heavy Aqua Droid upgrade, giving you Impact 2 along with 2 red and 1 white attack dice. Other upgrades you can consider. The Comms Jammer upgrade is fantastic, as almost always your Aquas will be very close to enemy units on objectives. Having the ability to shut down orders limits strategies from your opponent. This also means Hacked Comms Unit is another viable choice. Most times, Aquas will survive the initial hit of anything in the game, and you generally don't issue them an order after this happens. However, if they get a free order from Hacked Comms, it ensures your opponent will want to remove them first before you reposition them to block another unit. Onboard Comms channel is worth looking at as well. While outside turn 1 you will properly never give orders to your Aqua Droids, it is worth noting that they will usually have a unit nearby that is hiding behind them. I recommend that only experienced commanders with list building and order control try this upgrade. Linked Targeting Array and Emergency Transponders. Both of these upgrades will allow your Aquas to go from an average of 4 to 5 hits to 5 to 6 hit. While the Linked Targeting Array can be used multiple times, the Emergency Transponders can give you a dodge depending on the situation, allowing your unit to tank even more hits. The choice between these upgrades is personal. I take Emergency Transponders as I find the extra staying power on objectives more useful, and I don't often give orders to Aquas. Aqua Droid Tactics. Turn 1, you want orders on your Aquas. Depending on your strategy, you can go early with them to create line of sight, blocking terrain, or late if you want to protect units going into turn 2. I advise going late this way you don't telegraph your staging area, along with protecting them from an entire turn of shooting. Aqua's value increases every turn you are able to score with them. Ideally, you want them to be on objectives starting turn 2, while also acting as line of sight blocking terrain for the rest of your army. Offensively, they only average 4 to 5 hits, meaning you should really consider dodging when you are on an objective. Aquas are already annoying to remove and doubling down on. This always results in your opponent having to commit extra resources to remove them. It's worth mentioning Droidicas, Crab Droids, and Spider Droids can all hide behind the Aqua Droids line of sight blocking silhouette, which can lead to many different tactics from moving Droidicas in ball mode to playing peekaboo with spiders and crabs. It also means if the Separatist player takes any combination of the above droids, they are the only faction in the game that can screen you off an objective. A very important note here is that if you take 2 Aqua Droid squads with the heavy upgrade and 3 Crab Droids with the heavy laser cannon, you have range 3 impact 13 built into your list for currently only 435 points. while also giving you 5 activations. No other army can do this cheaply, and it means you can answer any armor build in the game. Countering Aqua Droids 1. Use impact weaponry. While this seems obvious, it is better to split-fire heavy upgrades that match their dice pool in impact value. An example of this is the Range Troopers DLT-20A upgrade, which has 2 red attack dice and impact 2, or using chip damage against them with impact 1 weaponry. You never want to invest in attack action that averages 4 or 5 hits, as you will be very unlikely to remove even 1 model. 2. Use high dice pools to push through the armor value, such as Arc Troopers, Black Suns, B2 Battle Droids, and Sleeper Cell. 3. Always keep in mind the threat is what is hiding behind the Aqua Droids. Aquas themselves are not very threatening, just really hard to remove from objectives. Ignoring the Aqua Droids is a valid strategy. Remember that the droid player can use Aqua's late game to hide damaged units, preventing you from scoring battle points. I hope you have found this in-depth guide to Aqua Droids informative and helpful. Leave a comment if you think I have missed anything and a like if you enjoyed this style of video. As always, none of this would be possible without the amazing Star Wars Legion community. Till next time, remember, experience out ranks everything.